Well, Jack Smith has entered the chat and he is playing no games. He is like, bring it, Mr. President. I'm ready with the receipts. Hi, I'm Melba Pearson, also known as the Resident Legal Diva, and I'm here with Kelly Hyman, and we are going to break down all that is happening at the intersection of law and politics, which is why you should like, comment, and subscribe to Legal AF to make sure you get all of the updates. So, as we well know, Jack Smith, who was the special counsel that was investigating the president over some of his activities, is on the hate list of the president. The president has made it very clear that he wants to see Jack Smith prosecuted, along with his other political enemies, such as Letitia James and James Comey and others. But interestingly enough, Jack Smith is like, go ahead and bring it. I look forward to being able to bring the case to the American people because remember, the Supreme Court and others blocked him from being able to fully reveal the results of his investigation, especially when it came to the retention of classified documents and things like that. So he's like, yeah, I got a whole bunch of receipts here that I'm ready to show everybody. So Kelly, what are your thoughts? And do you think that with him bringing all the receipts, it's going to backfire in the president's face more so than harm Jack Smith?
Transparency is key. I hope that the American people get the opportunity to see him publicly testify so they can make their own determination and see what he has to say. And I think that that's really important. If we talk about transparency, no matter what side of the aisle that you're on, then you would want him to come forward to hear what he has to say. And so you can make your own determination of what exactly happened. So I would like him to testify. I'd like to hear what he had to say. And I hope that the American people get the opportunity to that happen rather than behind closed doors so we don't know what's going on.
I agreed because, again, I firmly believe in the adage that democracy dies in darkness. So if we don't know what's going on, if we don't see what's happening in terms of who's being held accountable, what evidence did Jack Smith find in the course of his investigation? Because we never got to hear it, right? So, just kind of backing up for a second, just to give a little bit of a refresher of what was going on. So remember, Jack Smith was a special counsel who indicted the president twice, not once, but twice, right? So he's got a ton, like I said, of evidence in terms of he built two separate cases against him. Now, the underlying cases or underlying issues that Jack Smith was investigating the president for was mishandling classified documents and trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election. So he's basically like, listen, I'm here and I'm ready to smash this illusion that MAGA and others have that the president was this innocent guy that was just framed and he didn't do anything to deserve this scrutiny and all this drama, right? So what's interesting, though, is that Republicans are hella nervous. They don't want Jack Smith getting up and testifying. They don't want this. They're like, this is a bad idea. Abort, don't do this. Don't go down this path. So what are some of the risks, quote unquote? I mean, in the course of this discussion, let's just call it risks that the president and Republicans face in allowing Jack Smith to testify in this manner?
Knowing exactly what happened, knowing exactly his investigation, what he found out, and talking about the charges and because the prosecution has to prove the case. So Jack Smith would have to prove the case. And in fact, what evidence did he have? Like, what exactly did he have? And if the case would have gone to trial, would have Trump been convicted? Was there sufficient evidence? What information did he have? And so I think that that's really kind of key. As they say, laying the cards on the table, full disclosure. This is what I found. This is what the charges were. This is what I needed to prove the charges. And the American people can make their own determination on whether or not they believe that Trump either would be found guilty or would be found innocent, not guilty in the charges that were charged for him, but we won't know because it never happened. The case never went forward. So I think the American people have a right to know. But to your point, yes, then it focuses on that particular, issue. And so that's probably something that doesn't want to be rehashed. Just like the Epstein issue is as well, with everything going on. Definitely see some more discussion with that if things move forward and the government's back open again. And I think we're going to start hearing a lot more about the Epstein issue.
Yeah, that's a whole nother, we got to do a whole other show about that, because I'm over here like, we've been waiting for these files, right? And why are they taking such extraordinary measures to make sure these files don't come to light? That's what's getting me. And listen, I don't care, because folks will be like, oh, but did you care about this 12 years ago? Listen, I live in Florida, right? So I was at ground zero when this case was blowing up, and, U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta got heat for the sweetheart deal that he gave, Epstein. And the reality is, I don't care if Democrats are on the list. I don't care if the Republicans are on the list. I don't care if somebody from Mars is on the list. I want to see the list. Don't care. Don't care. Name them and shame them. If you're a pedophile.
Is there a list? Is there a list?
Allegedly, supposedly, which is my favorite term for all of this. But, and again, I mean, it breaks my heart that the victims, the survivors of the brutality that Epstein visited upon them, are now in the position of like, maybe we need to release the list, because they can all say who abused them. They all know. So the thought that they would have to be the ones to bring transparency to the American people, not the people that we actually elected, is a whole other fresh hell that we will revisit on another day. But love to the Epstein survivors, right? Like, we see you, we hear you, we're going to get justice for you. It's going to take a minute, but we will get justice for you. But going back to Jack Smith, and the reasons why Republicans are so nervous is that they've also been investigating him, subpoenaing documents and all of this, and they can't find not nary one thing to destroy his credibility. So they're freaking out, like, if we put him in this public hearing, give him this platform, and we can't destroy his credibility, this is going to hurt us more. But also, especially that we're going into midterm elections. And Republicans are already looking very shaky in battleground states, especially as we saw a lot of the Democratic wins that happened this past election day. So they're like, is this something that is now going to bring us more problems? Like, do we really need this smoke right now? Or can we kick it down the road so our seats are safe and we'll deal with it at another point in time? We'll see. They seem to be pushing forward. They seem to be like, listen, we're going down with the ship. But I absolutely love the statement that was made by Lanny Brewer, who is one of Jack Smith's attorneys. He said, name the time and place. Jack will be there. I'm like, woo, if come get some was a person, it was in that statement right there. Okay. So Kelly, I'm going to give you the last word and thoughts on all of this and how you think that this is all going to pan out.
I hope that it's open to the public in a sense that it is made public and not behind closed doors, so that there is full transparency, because the American people have a right to know and they should know. And I'm hopeful and optimistic that that will happen.
Same. Fingers crossed for transparency and for the rule of law to prevail. Because without the rule of law, we're no longer a democracy. So there's that. With that being said, I'm Melba Pearson, also known as the Resident Legal Diva. That's Kelly Hyman. She's amazing. And so glad that you were able to tune into us here at Legal AF. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit that little notification bell so you know when new videos come out and you can see and hear our happy smiling faces talking about very depressing things. All right, y'all. Taking care. Bye.
In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.